My first meeting with Sarwar was at SSG headquarters in Tarbela, where Sarwar was training and I was there for a course. In that demolition course, Sarwar was with me in hand-to-hand combat. I had to sharpen and blunt my skills, sharp for agility and blunt for massive strike. The faster the sword is, the more useful it is in combat. More than that, it is important that the sword is strong. The demolition course of SSG is something like this. The aim is not just to move the hand fast. It is also very important to reach the bone while cutting the flesh. The injury should be that worthy, so it is impossible for any recovery. Have you ever seen a lion when he slaps his prey? The skin and bones come off together. You must pray you don't face SSG in a difficult situation. Otherwise, just as some wet clothes are squeezed and straightened, in the same way, your body, your soul, and your conscience, all three will be separated, and then gathering these three back will not be like visiting Aunt Sally. There was a lot of power and strength in Sarwar, but it was very important to train him on agility. In SSG, they are kept in impossible situations. They have to fight and to survive. SSG is our last line of defense. They can be called the ruthless, the merciless response of Pakistan Army to all those who try to cast an evil eye on our motherland. The soldiers of SSG are trained to resist the death angel himself. Their skin has to become stronger like Folad to bear any adversities. Sarwar did his course and went back into his unit, and I went back in mine. And it was after many years in the Kargil war, we met on Tololing one fine day on our listening post that was severely being attacked by the Indians. Shelling and firing was happening, and as you know, the Tololing is the closest to Hulyaal. It was the closest peak actually to any Indian base. A very heavy fire was coming, and we were present on Azadi post at that time. When we saw that the flames are even reaching the Azadi post, we left towards Tololing. It took us 3 to 4 hours. We could still see that the fighting was going crazy there. Anyway, with great difficulty and as soon as possible, we reached the peak of Tololing. And then from there to the affected listening post. When we reached there about 50 to 60 meters from our post, we saw Indian corpses all around. And a lot of our people were injured too. And there was blood and body parts scattered everywhere on the stones. People were completely torn off. Indian soldiers' parts were everywhere. We were stepping on eyeballs, we were stepping on hearts. Because you know, when a machine gun is fired from such a close range, then nothing is left in you. First of all, we came and took care of the position. I took care of the machine gun and started firing. The other people with me, they took care of other gun positions, and we started counter-attacking the Indians. When we counter-attacked the Indians, they retreated after suffering a lot of losses. 2 of our men were also martyred, and about 9 of our people were severely injured. When the Indians ran back from there, we started picking up our wounded and martyrs and also taking pictures and log of Indian casualties. To send our wounded back to the med camp, we called few of our soldiers from other posts, so these people can be taken back. This was our very crucial listening post, and around it, as I told you, about 50 to 60 meters, about 250 to 300 Indian corpses were lying, and those corpses were lying in bad conditions. You can say that not a single body was intact. All the body was torn. Someone's head was there, someone's hands were cut, someone's leg was there. So by all means, we couldn't collect them. When we got further down and were looking for our people, I straightened one of our men, and hey, so I found Sarwar there. I did not recognize him because there was a lot of black dust and blood on his face. He had a bullet in his shoulder and there was a lot of blood spillage on his neck and face. Some of his own and some of the Indians. So I called my Jawans and told them to pick him up and take him up, and went further down to find other wounded. After around 10 minutes, I saw the same soldier whom I just sent up with the shoulder wound, helping and taking other injured to safety. He had the bullet removed, and after getting first aid, he came down again and was picking up other soldiers as he doesn't care about his own injuries. I saw him doing that, so I called him, Jawan, yes, you, come here. So when he came running towards me, he said, Sir, do you recognize me? So I looked at him closely and said, Hey, are you Sarwar? He said, Yes, sir, so many years I did not think we will meet here. And I was like, Yes, surely, not here, of course. It had been 4 years since I met Sarwar, and look, now I am meeting him on Tololing after 4 years. Anyway, we re-interacted with all the posts we posted, fresh people there, and I took Sarwar to the peak of Tololing, which was actually our main post. And after dinner, I called Sarwar and I asked him, Sarwar, bata yaar, how many Indians you killed today? So he said, Sir, it was no fun to fight with machine guns. The training that you have given me, I haven't been able to use it practically because we are sitting on our post and Indians barely try to come to reach us unless we go ahead of our post, which is not allowed. Sir, please take me down with you. It's no fun to shoot with bullets. Sir, it will be fun to twist their necks with my own hands. What is the use of learning something from you and not being able to practically do it? It's my wish to demonstrate it to you. And I was like, okay, Sarwar, tomorrow I have to go to Hulyaal for COD. You can come with me. I trained Sarwar in close combat. 4 years ago in Tarbela, he was trained very well. I knew the guy was strong and determined on whatever he's tasked. He's speaking the truth. He won't be scared at all and won't be worried. And the next day we attacked Hulyaal Ordinance of Indian Army. This was actually a historic day when Sarwar became Sarwar Churra. That day I gave Sarwar the knife which will represent him all his life, the Churra, as a gift. And all I said to him was, Sarwar, the Indians should not scream. Inki आवाज ना निकलने पाए Sarwar. Things had changed. Equipment had changed. For your information, an SSG now at least carries 15 to 20 different size knives in his inventory. This depends on the operation that given day. The easiest strike is the neck strike because you can maneuver by holding the hair. You can twist the neck. You can create a perfect angle. You get a grip and you can slit the jugular vein in less than a second. You can say that this is the standard kill of a dagger attack. But before that, let me tell you about some standard equipment. The official knife right now of SSG is so strong that even if you hit directly inside the bone, it will tear the bone into pieces. And the handle, the base of the knife, there is molten metal in it. So if you have to use it in hand-to-hand combat, and if you strike it with the base on the face, the whole cheekbone melts down. Like most of the time, you don't have that freedom of hands in close hand-to-hand combat. So the knife works both ways, the blade and the base. Wherever you hit, it breaks the bones and shatters the skin. Head, face, neck, all three are compromised. See, sometimes we have to hit it straight in the skull and the tip of the knife comes out of the nose or the mouth. Head, face and neck, these are the most important parts in dagger attack. Apart from this, another important knife is light in weight but very sharp. It has a paracord grip and it is known as throw knife. You can hit it from distance of around like 10 to 15 meters. Enemy eye, neck, head, chest, wherever you get a chance you can hit it and this will penetrate. There is another standard inventory knife around 4 to 5 inch. This is called the shoe knife. These are tied with the laces of our boots. This is kind of an emergency knife, a last resort. Suppose you have fallen down on ground, you slipped your weapon, then this knife will save your life, directly penetrate in the throat, in the eye and get a kill. Just cut the vocal cord and tonsils and the guy will bleed to death in seconds. Now I will take you to a major combat knife, one of my favorites, which I called the scorpion. If you hit it in the stomach, you hit it in the chest, you hit it in the neck, there is a feature that everything what is inside comes out when you will pull your hand out. Wallah, it leaves nothing. It is lethal. It will take out everything, each and every organ. It is a very messy knife to use, but it gives you the most pleasure. To tell you the truth, after June 15, we used to avoid killing Indians with scorpions because then everything will come out and Indians won't pick up their bodies, their organs will be smelly all over our place, and it would be very hard for us to even eat food. So much stench of body parts everywhere, difficult to eat, difficult to drink water. We had to request the Indians to come and take these bodies, and we knew that they cannot. And many times they used to give us permission to burn their bodies, and we used to burn them. Kya kare hum? So you can easily say that SSG has dagger inventory more than a camel butcher. Now you will understand why SSG want to do hand-to-hand battle in every war, in every battle. They request to do it hand-to-hand. This is their desire because the fun of live kill and the training on live kill, it does not give them any feeling when they kill the decoys. And in Kargil war, where Indians have sent more than 750,000 soldiers in our close range, in our vicinity, imagine the level of training these SSGs performed on live targets. Sarwar was having the best time in his life. He had a commander gifted chora and a lot of prey. Sarwar Churra was on a killing spree.